Let's be honest about why you actually buy fragrance in the first place. It's not really about smelling nice for yourself in an empty room. It's about someone stopping mid-conversation and asking what you're wearing. That reaction is the real goal, and today we're walking through all 7 levels of getting there. Starting from smelling like absolutely nothing, all the way up to becoming the guy people remember purely by scent. Stick around because level 7 gets a little chaotic. Level 1, where everybody starts whether they admit it or not. You're either not wearing fragrance at all, or you're wearing something so weak and generic it might as well be invisible. Nobody compliments you, but nobody's trying to avoid standing next to you either. You're just neutral, forgettable. The human version of default settings. Maybe you shower, throw on some deodorant, and call it a day because you figure nobody's paying that much attention anyway. And honestly, at this stage, you're probably right. Most people around you are stuck at this exact same level. This stage usually doesn't last very long though. Eventually, you notice someone else getting complimented, look at yourself, and think, hang on a second. Level 2, your first real spray. Probably some cheap drugstore bottle or a gift set your aunt got you for your birthday. It barely projects past your own personal bubble, so the only compliment you're getting is your mom saying you smell nice as you walk out the door. Sweet? Absolutely. Objective? Not even slightly. Teachers might catch a whiff as they walk past your desk. Your classmates are far too busy trying to survive math class to notice. Still, it counts as progress. At least now there's something on your skin worth smelling, even if nobody outside your own house has figured that out yet. Level 3. Now this is where things get interesting. This is your first proper fragrance, usually bought on gut instinct rather than actual knowledge. Maybe a friend recommended it, maybe you liked the bottle, or maybe the guy at the mall convinced you it was his personal favorite for the 17th customer that day. Then one day, it happens. Someone stops and says, wait, you smell really good. Your first real compliment. The problem is, you have absolutely no idea why it happened. Some days it lands perfectly, other days, nothing. Maybe the room was warmer, maybe you sprayed a little more, maybe the person standing next to you just happened to love that particular scent. Or maybe you walked out of a heated classroom into the cold and your fragrance decided that was the perfect moment to wake up. That's how you know you're still relying on luck instead of a system. And luck has this annoying habit of showing up exactly when you're not paying attention, then disappearing the moment you actually need it. I remember exactly when this happened to me. I was maybe 17, wearing some fragrance I barely understood, standing in line at a coffee shop when a stranger turned around and asked what I was wearing. I panicked, mumbled the name, and spent the entire walk home replaying that moment like I'd just won something. For weeks after that, I wore the same fragrance every day, hoping it'd happen again. Sometimes it did, most days nothing. I'd walk home wondering what I'd done wrong. I didn't understand yet that the compliment wasn't just about the fragrance. It was the moment, the setting, even my own confidence that day. I was chasing a feeling without understanding the system behind it, spraying blindly and hoping the universe cooperated. Level 4, the real turning point. And this is where most guys get it completely wrong. The instinct is to think compliments come from spending more money, grabbing something louder or more expensive, assuming the price tag does the work for you. It doesn't. What actually flips the switch is understanding fit. A fragrance that's perfect for a date night is going to feel completely wrong in an office, sitting a little too heavy next to your coworkers all afternoon. Something built for summer heat is going to disappear entirely in the cold, fading before you've even made it through the front door. Once you start matching the scent to the room, instead of just spraying whatever's closest, compliments stop being random and start becoming intentional. This single shift matters more than any bottle you'll ever buy, and it costs you absolutely nothing to figure out. Level 5. This is where consistency finally replaces luck. Instead of relying on one fragrance for every occasion, you've now got a small rotation. Maybe something fresh for everyday wear, something warmer for dates, and something clean and low-key for work. You stop standing in front of your collection every morning like you're trying to solve a puzzle. You already know what fits the day. Compliments start showing up much more consistently because you're matching the fragrance to the occasion instead of hoping one bottle magically works everywhere. This is the level where most people should aim to settle. It delivers real results without draining your entire paycheck on fragrance. Level 6. This is where things get fun. Compliments aren't just showing up anymore. They're becoming a reputation. People stop saying, "You smell good today," and start saying, "You always smell good." That's a completely different compliment. Your scent becomes part of how people remember you. Coworkers notice when you wear something different. Friends ask what you're wearing before you've even finished saying hello. Someone might even catch that scent months later on a complete stranger and immediately think of you. That's how powerful scent memory is. This is the level most guys are actually chasing without realizing it. And it doesn't require a crazy expensive collection. It just requires understanding what works on your skin, sticking with fragrances that suit you, and resisting the urge to buy a new bottle every time you get bored. Then there's level 7. And honestly, this one's less of a level and more of a warning. This is where confidence gets a little too big. You start spraying more, layering fragrances that were never meant to meet each other, chasing an even bigger reaction than the last one. Instead of getting compliments, you're now the guy people can smell from 2 rooms away. Congratulations, you've accidentally become an air quality event. Elevators become a hazard zone. Classmates open windows the second you walk in. I've been there myself, genuinely convinced that if 3 sprays got a compliment, 6 would get 2. It doesn't work like that. More isn't better. It's just more. Your nose adapts, everyone else's doesn't, and you don't realize you've crossed the line until someone points it out, usually not very politely. If people start complimenting how strong your fragrance is instead of how good it smells, that's your sign you've officially wandered into level 7. Maybe give that atomizer a well-earned break. So there you have it, all 7 levels. Hopefully one thing's pretty clear by now. Getting compliments isn't about owning the most expensive bottle. It's about wearing the right fragrance, in the right place, the right way, consistently. Figure that out and you'll get there a whole lot faster than most of us did, without wasting money on bottles that were never actually the problem in the first place. If this helped you figure out where you are or where you're going next, do me a favor and hit subscribe. We've still got plenty more fragrance myths to ruin together. And if you're wondering what those 3 fragrances should actually be, I've got a full video on building the perfect rotation for every occasion, right over there.